Peace, peace, peace. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. And welcome to another day to labor in the vineyard of the Most High with your brother. Another day to get in the Word and see what the Most High got to serve. Appreciate y'all coming to the buffet of the Most High with me today. And we gon' eat on how the Most High preparing his starseeds for extraction. Extraction before the sun implodes. Alright? The sun is on a time schedule, just like we on a time schedule. It won't sent to last forever, and we won't sent to be here forever. Contrary to the teachings of the Gentiles, because they tell you you've been here for millions of years, and you're going to be here for millions more. But that's just the consciousness of Satan trying to trap you in the world. Let's eat. We're going to start in the book of Barnabas. It's in the lost books of the scriptures, and it's also in this book called the Apostolic Fathers, which got some of the teachings of Irenaeus, Papias, Barnabas, Matthias, Polycarp. Got some different teachings in here. We're going to start in Barnabas. In the lost books, scriptures is on chapter 13. But in this one, it's chapter 15. And it's called, this chapter is entitled, The False and True Sabbath. The true Sabbath is the seventh day, which is the last 1,000 years. That's the time of rest that we preparing for, which is only going to be a time of rest for the righteous. Alright, the Sabbath is mentioned at the beginning of the creation. Thus, and God, the Most High, Yahweh, made in 6 days the works of his hands, and made an end on the seventh day, and rested on it, and sanctified it. Again, and the Most High made in 6 days the works of his hands, and made an end of the work on the seventh day, and rested on it, and sanctified it. And we know 7 is the number of completion. Attend, my children, to the meaning of this expression. He finished in 6 days. This implies that the Lord will finish all things. The Lord will finish all things in 6,000 years. All things will be finished in 6,000 years. So all the lies the Gentiles and told us about, we've been here for millions of years and all that stuff right there. Evolution has been going on for this long, and these rocks is this old, and all that mess that they teach us. Throw it out the window, because it ain't true. Alright? That's just that satanic consciousness trying to trap you into the world and trap you into the matrix. Alright? Most High said all things will be done in 6,000 years. So from the time Adam and Eve got put out of the garden, time started. So that had to be within this 6,000 year time frame. Not no millions, not no hundreds of thousands, all that. No, that would have been too much time for Lucifer to destroy everything. Most High ain't giving Lucifer no 100,000 years with his crown jewels. He'll destroy us. And then even in the 6,000 years, we seen in the last lesson where he said he gonna have to cut that short. The Lord will finish all things in 6,000 years. For a day is with him 1,000 years. And the precepts I got wrote for that right there is 2 Peter 3:8 and Psalms 90:4. Therefore, my children, in 6 days, that is, in 6,000 years, all things will be finished. And he rested on the 7th day. This means when his son comes again, shall destroy the time of the wicked man, and judge the ungodly, and change the sun and the moon and the stars. Then shall he truly rest on the 7th day. Let's read this again. When his son, Yahushua, comes again, and shall destroy the time of the wicked man, and judge the ungodly, and change the man, the woman, and the children. Then shall he truly rest on the 7th days. That's a dual parable. We got the upper luminaries, the sun, moon, and stars above, and we got the inner luminaries, the man, woman, and children, who are luminaries themselves, that we done been reading about. Moreover, he says, thou shalt sanctify it with pure hands and a pure heart. That's why purity is the key to our salvation. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, sun, moon, and stars, man, woman, and child, and so is Allah. Let's go to the Bible. Let's keep breaking this thing down. Let's go to the Bible. In the book of Revelation, Revelation chapter 16. Revelation chapter 16, verse 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him. Power was given unto the Son, who is one of the children of God. He a luminary. All right, the sun, moon, and stars are living entities. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Remember that right there. The power was given to the sun. On the movie 2012, at the beginning, when you see the sun starting to throw them solar flares out, there's something going on with the sun at this time that ain't go on with the sun at no other point in history. We just read, in 6,000 years, all things will be finished, so that the righteous can prepare for the true Sabbath, the true day of rest. The Sabbath that we celebrate now is not the true Sabbath, because it ain't truly a day of rest. You still got to deal with these ignorant niggas. You still got to go to work. You still got to do things you don't want to do, pay bills. So it's not truly the day of rest. But the 7th day that we waiting on, the true Sabbath, which is around the corner, it's going to be a day of rest. No more paying bills. No more dealing with ignorant folks. No more under this racist system. None of that. We're going to be at peace. All the fruits of the Spirit. Joy, peace, happiness, all them things is all we going to know. And understanding and knowledge is going to be imparted unto us. Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21, starting at verse 23. And this speaking on the city during the time of the true Sabbath. And the city had no need of the sun. The city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of the Most High did give it light. The glory of the Father did lighten it. And the Lamb is the light thereof. He told us he is the light of the world. When we gonna see. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, the light of the Lamb. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. There shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it, into Zion. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defiles. There shall in no wise enter into it anything that defiles, neither whatsoever worketh abominations. All things that the Most High told us is abominations, that we refuse to believe is abominations, your spirit gonna testify against you. Because you ain't gonna be allowed in. And he just sit here and told you. Anything that defiles, neither whatsoever work is abominations, or make is a lie. The Most High say he hate liars. But they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Those who have found their names written in the Lamb's book of life are going to be the only ones admitted. Alright? The wicked going to be destroyed. That's why each man must work out his own soul salvation. You can't worry about your friends, your spouse salvation, your kids salvation. None of that. You can try to pull them to the water, but you can't make them drink. And it ain't your job to make them drink. All your job to do is drop the seeds. Whether they heal or whether they forbear, that's on them. But the Starseeds, their spirit will be attracted to the light. Especially at this time, as we'll see as we keep going on. Chapter 22, verse 5. And there should be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. They need no candle, neither light of the sun. For the Lord God, the Most High, the Creator, gives them light, and they shall reign forever, forever and ever. So we see plenty of examples where the sun is not going to be needed. So clearly, the sun is getting phased out is what it's telling us. And we about to see it. And we see the light of Yahushua is going to be shining bright. Go to Matthew. Set this thing up. Go to Matthew chapter 13. Matthew 13, starting at verse 38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. The good seeds are the Starseeds. This is why Paul say all Israel is not Israel. And this is why the teachings of them camps is wrong. Just because your skin is black is not getting you in the kingdom. Nah. That's a lie. That's a teaching from Satan to make you think that all you gotta do is know that you're an Israelite and you're gonna be saved. Nah, that's not true. Nah. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. The kingdom is made of light. The children of the light, the Starseeds, the spiritual lights. The non-spiritual Israelites only a step ahead of the basic Gentiles. Nah, y'all gotta come on into this truth. Y'all gotta worship in truth and in spirit. And if you dismiss the spirit, you gonna get dismissed. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The children of the wicked one don't want to read none of the books of light because the light is not in them. Everything goes back into its own. The enemy that sows them is the devil. Why? Because he inside their heart. Their heart hard to the word. And if your heart hard to the word, the light inside you will not be available to shine. It won't be able to save you because Satan didn't put out your light. Your heart is frozen. It's hard. The love, which is light, which brings life, is not flowing. The enemy that sow them hard hearts, that sow their ignorance, that sow the matrix in your mind, that get you stuck in the world, that get you stuck in carnality, that get you loving yourself, vanity. The enemy that sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels. The reapers are coming to gather the crops. They ain't caring nothing about the tares. They coming to gather the crops. A couple lessons ago when we did the lesson on the motherships and all them, what it said in that lesson, they coming for the children of the light. And what it say right here, the harvest is at the end of the time period, the end of the age, the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. Do what Most High say, separate yourself. Separate yourself from the tares. And at this time, spiritually, he gonna make, if you a child of the light, you gonna naturally do it. Cause you ain't gonna be able to deal with the tails but for so long. Cause your mission is separately. You actually understand what you hear and what you getting prepared for. What they caught up in the things, the vain things of the world, like the scriptures say. And if you stuck in between two worlds, you gonna get caught up with the tails. And you gonna get yourself burnt up trying to be with the tails. That's what happened to the majority of the Eternals at the end of the movie. They wanted to save the tails. That's why bro Ictor, who had the Superman powers, he said, nah, y'all tripping. He left all of them. He left out the whole earth. He won't get burnt up with the tails like the rest of them who got caught in their feelings and wanted to save the world and the people of the world. Nah, Most High say, separate yourself. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, like we read in the motherships, in the Merkaba vehicles. They on the way. People already seen them. They scoping the scene, upgrading us, getting us prepared. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. All y'all self-righteous folks that think you righteous, but you know you ain't necessarily living right. Your spirit gonna bear witness against you. That's why Most High say he hate liars. You can't lie to the spirit and record everything you do. That's why it's evil when you don't repent. If you know you did something wrong, all you gotta do is come clean, and the Most High say cool. But when you don't want to own up to it because of your pride or your ego, nah, you gonna get burnt up and found guilty. Guilty as charged. Because she ain't come clean to me. He ain't come clean to me. But the fact that he came clean, he good. In the Zohar, a lot of people think David was wrong for what he did. But he teach in there. No, Bathsheba was given to him from the beginning. The sin was him getting Uriah killed. But because he came clean and owned up to his wrongs, the Most High forgave him. Because Satan tried to take his life for it. But Most High said, nah, he mine. And he done came clean and owned up to me of what he did. So the Most High let him go. Satan couldn't take him. That's an example that we supposed to learn from. You got to repent when you know you're wrong. And Most High say, all right, cool. Satan don't want you repenting. He don't want you admitting that you're wrong. He don't want you coming out of the world. And that way, he know the law. He know all the laws. That's why in the Zohar, when they do that aspect, when they teach on what happened with David and Bathsheba, Satan tried to use the law, the word against David, so he could take his life. But Most High said, nah, he belonged to me. And even in the scriptures, it said David had a perfect heart. But people don't know the backdrop on the story. Nothing happened unless it be the will of Allah. If Bathsheba won't already belong to him from the beginning, he would have never had her. You think Most High ain't already had that set up for Solomon to come from that? Nah. Most High said it ended from the beginning. What seemed wrong to us is because the Gentiles and corrupted the records to take out bits and pieces of it, to hide the true essence of the story and what it's telling. Uriah had never slept with Bathsheba, so technically she didn't belong to him. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. This ain't speaking on hell. Hell is a doctrine that they created. It's speaking on you being left here at the end of time because you ain't going to be allowed to transition. And like we just read in Revelation, the Son is going to be given the power to scorch men and women with his heat. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. The righteous is going to shine bright like a diamond, like Yahweh shine. Go to chapter 17, Matthew chapter 17, starting at verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahweh shine, brother Jesus, Matzah, Yeshua, took Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringing them up into a high mountain apart. And he was transfigured before them. He was transfigured before them. Before he resurrected, after he died to the flesh, he already showed them the powers that he possessed. So it won't no thing to them when he resurrected after he was hung. They already knew what he was capable of. He was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. Let's eat on that right there. Because that's the light. Why it ain't going to be no need for the sun in the city, like we read in Revelation. We're going to go to the books of the Savior. We're going to go to the Pistis Sophia. In the Pistis Sophia, Pistis mean faith, and Sophia is wisdom. The teachings in here, it teach how faith and wisdom got wrapped up in the soul, and how the ego took over, and how Satan and his angels used the wrapping of the flesh to attack faith and wisdom, to keep her from her home, which is the light. All right. Book 1. Chapter 2, verse 2. And it came to pass on the 15th day of the moon in the month Tabi, which is the day on which the moon is full, on that day then, when the sun had come forth in his going, that there came forth behind him a great light power, shining most exceedingly. There came forth behind him a great light power, shining most exceedingly. And there was no measure to the light conjoined with it. For it came out of the light of lights. It came out of the light of lights. The light of lights. Same as the King of Kings. And it came out of the last mystery. The first mystery is the Most High. The last mystery is you figuring out yourself and how to return back to your Adam Kai man, your light body. For it came out of the light of lights, and it came out of the last mystery, which is the 4 and 20th mystery. From within, without. As above, so below. So within, so without. Those which are in the orders of the second space of the first mystery. The second space, your time of probation from the Most High. Those, let's read it again. For it came out of the light of lights, and it came out of the last mystery, which is the 24th mystery, from within, without. Those which are in the orders of the second space of the first mystery. Speaking on us in probation. When you come into knowledge of God, you come into knowledge of self. That's why Christ always taught the only way to the Father is through the Son. All right? You have that, the knowledge of God and the knowledge of self go hand in hand. That's what Christ's teachings is about. That's why he had the ability to do the things he did. I and the Father am one. If you learn about the Father, you learn about the Son. You learn about the Son, you learn about the Father. The first mystery unravels the last mystery. And that light power came down over brother Jesus and surrounded him entirely while he was seated, removed from his disciples. And he had shown most exceedingly. And there was no measure for the light which was on him. There was no measure for the light which was on him. What we read in Revelation. Ain't gonna be no need of the sun or candlelight. Ain't gonna be no night in Zion. All of them gonna shine forth forever and ever. We gonna see how Christ right here is like Johnny Flame. Flame on. He can turn it on. And we gonna see what his disciples asked him to turn it off. He flamed off. But he had power over that spiritual body, a light. And the disciples had not seen Yahushua because of the great light in which he was, or which was about him. For their eyes were darkened because of the great light in which he was. But they saw only the light, which shot forth many light rays. And the light rays were not like one another, but the light was of diverse kinds. And it was of diverse types from below upwards, one ray more excellent than the other. And one great immeasurable glory of light. It stretched from under the earth right up to heaven. And when the disciples saw that light, they fell into great fear and great agitations. Chapter 3. It came to pass then, when the light power had come down over Yahushua, that it gradually surrounded him entirely. Then Yeshua ascended or soared into the heights, shining most exceedingly in an immeasurable light. And the disciples gazed after him, and none of them spoke until he had reached unto the heavens. But they all kept in deep silence. Chapter 5. And it came to pass then, when the disciples saw this, that they feared exceedingly and were in agitation. Then Yahushua, the compassionate and tender-hearted, when he saw his disciples that they were in great agitation, spoke with them, saying, "Take courage, it is I. Be not afraid." Chapter 6, the return of Jesus, the light being. The return of Hamashiach, the light being. It came to pass then, when the disciples had heard this word, that they said, "Lord, if it be you, withdraw your light glory unto yourself, that we may be able to stand. Otherwise, our eyes are darkened, and we are agitated. And the whole world also is in agitation because of the great light which is about thee." They couldn't stare at it. Just like when you try to stare at the sun. You got to darken your eyes. It hurt. That's how bright his light was. Then Yeshua drew to himself the glory of his light. He flamed off like Johnny Flame on the Fantastic Four. Flame on. Nah, the disciples said flame off. It's too bright. Then Jesus drew to himself the glory of his light. And when this was done, all the disciples took courage and stepped forth to Yeshua. They fell down all together, adored him, rejoicing in great joy, and said unto him, "Rabbi, where has you gone? Or what was the ministry on which thou hast gone? Or wherefore, rather, were all these confusions and all the earthquakings which had taken place?" Then brother Jesus, the compassionate, said unto them, "Rejoice and exult from this hour on, for I have gone to the regions out of which I had come forth. I have gone to the regions out of which I had come forth." And if you got the keys of Enoch, you know the regions. The Pleiades, Orion, those are the regions that the righteous hierarchy of light are working with to program us, is which we was also created from. "Rejoice and exult from this hour on, for I have gone to the regions out of which I had come forth. From this day on then will I discourse with you in openness, from the beginning of the truth until its completion." From the beginning, just like the Most High told us, all things. He went with them from the beginning unto the end. So they knew all things that was supposed to happen from the beginning of the world, which did occur, until what was going to happen in the end of time. "And I would discourse with you face to face, without similitude. From this hour on will I not hide anything from you of the mystery of the heights, and of that of the region of truth. For authority have been given me. Authority have been given to me through the ineffable and through the first mystery of all mysteries," speaking on the Most High, "to speak with you from the beginning right up to the fullness. For authority from on high has been given me through the ineffable and through the first mystery of all mysteries, which is your creator, to speak with you from the beginning right up to the fullness, both from within, without, and from without, within. Both from spirit man to flesh man, and from flesh man to spirit man. Listen, therefore, that I may tell you all things." Oh, he gave him the whole game. Most High said, "Go on back down there, tell all your brothers and sisters the game plan. Not all, but your disciples. Go give them the game, because them the ones that I done gave to you." And like he said, the ones that you gave in John chapter 17, he said, "Those you have given me were yours, and I will lose not one of them. I will not lose not one of them." So he came and gave him the game. Let's go to the keys. We got the keys. Keys open doors. Keys open doors. The book of knowledge. The keys of Enoch. Most I say, we gonna get to be like Johnny Flame too. Flame on! Oh, I can't wait to flame on. Key 109, page 86. With this key, we can understand how fallen universes are delivered through the galactic wars of the sons of light versus the sons of darkness. Verse 21. Time appears in this evolution as a cosmic immensity, a source of light. Time is what? A source of light, a combustion. And so, in the night of time, which is still in a state of universal dissolution, light, the first combustion, appears as a star beginning. This light is the nature, the source of all thought. This light is the nature, the source of all thought. For thought is an energy, a combustion of star evolution, a combustion of star power, and the instrument of knowledge illuminating the objects of star evolution, which is us. We objects of star evolution. Our spirit man is a luminary. That's why we had to purify our thoughts, because we did say, this light is the nature. Light is the source of all thought. So if your source of thought is darkness, it's going to work against you, because that's not its nature. The nature of your thoughts are light. All right? 32. Eastern science teaches that the energy field, which is beyond the three-dimensional cubic form, is the night of realization, the higher knowledge, which Enoch calls the fourth dimension. Why is it called the night of realization? Because you had to remove the dark veil of the matrix to realize that it's an illusion. All right? So that you can elevate to the higher knowledge. A lot of our brothers and sisters in the churches and the camps, they still in the night of realization because they ain't realized the truth. All right? They not following Yahushua. All right? They not walking on the right path. They following as the Buddha teach, incorrect Dharma. All right? The fourth stage of evolution is Siddharatri, where the universe makes way for a greater energy flow. The universe makes way for a greater energy flow, a greater offering of creation. Verse 37. Every kingdom of intelligence of chemical matter with its respective star or parent star, and with its respective star evolutionary phase, the earth and the sun are stars that are on evolutionary phases, passes into the Viraratri, or the night of courage, where it is able to spiral through itself. In this fifth stage of evolution, the sun pours into the world and takes from it the essence to continue its evolution. Again, in this fifth stage of evolution, the sun pours into the world and takes from it the essence to continue its evolution. The solar radiation in the Eastern text is compared with the perpetual beheading of the sun. And as such, the beheading represents the life-giving the life-giving and life-destroying power of the sun. And remember, the S-U-N of God is also the S-O-N of God, and vice versa. As we just seen, Yahweh shall flamed on, bright as the sun. Yahweh shall said when he come back, he gonna destroy with fire. What we read about the sun, the S-U-N, is gonna be given power to destroy. The solar radiation in the eastern text is compared with the perpetual beheading of the sun. And as such, the beheading represents the life-giving and life-destroying power of the sun. Both the S-U-N and the S-O-N feed us down here in this realm. Everything in creation needs the S-U-N to live. Us in the flesh need the S-U-N plus the S-O-N to live. As we acquire the powers of the S-O-N, we inherently acquire the powers of the S-U-N, which is why it's not going to be no need for the S-U-N in the end of time, like we read in Revelation. Let's keep eating. The world depends for its sustenance on burning and destructive light. Speaking on the S-U-N. 42. We see in this picture the necessity of a given planetary mind system or kingdom of intelligence to separate from its sun, S-U-N, system before the sun, S-U-N, system destroys that planetary creation or that planetary field of intelligence. It only had a certain amount of time. This is why what we see what's going on right now with the Gentiles. Gentiles, the ones in control, the ones powering the show behind the scenes, they know what's going on. The puppets on the forefront, they just the ignorant fools that they use to go out there and tell the masses things. But they know these scriptures. Before they gave us our scriptures back, the ones in control, they knew what's going on. Why you think that's part of the reason why they work so hard to try to block out the heat of the sun? Global warming is natural. Ain't nothing they can do to stop that, and they know it. So what they do, they just try to counterbalance it by Satan giving them things to spray in the air to help fight it off for a little longer. But Most High says it's time to turn it up. He gonna turn up the heat. Cause no matter what they do, it ain't gonna work when he decides to turn it up. The power of the S-U-N can override anything that they think they can throw in the atmosphere. The same way the power of the S-O-N overrides anything that they think they can do to us if we only believe. We gonna see. Let's keep eating. We see in this picture the necessity is necessary of a given planetary mind system or kingdom of intelligence to separate from its sun system before the sun system destroys that planetary creation or that planetary field of intelligence. 45. In cases where the Earth type of life has evolved, radiation is necessary for the process of photosynthesis, from which all higher forms of physical life derive their energy, just like the plants. It is at this point that the life intelligence must decide if it has the ability to go through cubic life space, to become identified with a higher evolutionary starseed intelligence, to become identified with a higher evolutionary starseed intelligence and a neighboring star system, and join in co-participation as a new member of a galactic family. If we do this, we proceed from our parent star, which is where we at right now, to a secondary star and into a pluralistic form of galactic creation of many suns. If it does not mutate, if it does not evolve into multidimensional star directions, it is devoured and destroyed. You're going to get destroyed by the sun as it continues to heat up. Remember, we read about the ships that's coming to take care of the rest of us, the Starseeds, the wicked, those in denial of the truth, those refuse to accept the truth. They not going to be allowed on the ships. They just going to get burned up. 49. The intelligence in the lower heavens is chained to its immediate sun system's parameters, which will be destroyed through the evolving, spiraling black cube, the cubic space where star energy eats up its own physical byproducts, its own physical creation, and its own creative intelligence. That's why Michael and the angels and the ships are coming for the starseeds, the spiritual lights. 50. To go into negative or destructive evolutions and redeem or reprogram these evolutions requires the power of the Zohar, of the higher evolution, or the Fowar, the consciousness threshold energy, which is stronger than the sun's energy. This higher light serves as a new channel whereby the transmutation of the species can take place. Thus, the species can be taken off its planetary disk. The species can be taken off its planetary disk and go into other star fields before the sun system destroys its chemical order of life intelligence. We supposed to be like Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. We supposed to be like Spock and them. Star Wars, Star Trek, all the movies. That's supposed to be us. Wakanda forever. We supposed to be able to navigate on them higher vehicles, them higher ships. And it say right here, it's necessary so that the species can be taken off its planetary disk and go into other star fields before the sun destroys its chemical order of life intelligence. This brings us then to the sixth field of evolution, known as Kalaratri in the Indian text, which is the sudden end of a world system, the culmination of a process that had been going on for a long time. 53. The words of the Lords, speaking on the Lords of Light, which give this picture, speak as follows. Softly smiling, you shine with the crimson glow, which may be compared with 1,000 newly risen suns. You wear a silken veil and a garland of skulls. This garland skull illustrates Golgotha, the destruction of the spiritual sun energy. The Jesus with the energy of the S-O-N of light. The Christos or the Zohar energy, which descends on the planetary minds as a new evolutionary membrane upon the skull of the planet. At the end of time, the higher evolutionary threshold of intelligence, the hierarchy of light we've been talking about, working with the Earth's astrochemical sun, will come together for the necessary resurrection and programming beyond the time-space of the Golgotha, the immediate zone of life and death. 56. In the cosmology of the earth, this means that without a new program of aspiring light, without a new program of spiraling light from the intelligences connected with the program Israel, the intelligences connected with the program Israel, speaking on the hierarchy of light, the ministering angels, Michael and his order, Metatron, all of the higher intelligences that's here to upgrade us at this time. Where was it? Without a new program aspiring light from the intelligences connected with the program Israel, our sun will have to use up its supply of fuel, for it cannot depend on thermal pressure to balance the force of gravity indefinitely. The sun was not made to burn forever and for us to be down here doing what we doing now, working for these Gentiles forever. Oh, let's keep eating. Let's go on back to the Zohar, still in book 1. The Zohar, book 1. We just read about the Zohar energy. So let's get a little more understanding here. Still reading out of the intro. Accepting certainty. Certainty, not uncertainty. Satan teaches uncertainty. The Most High teaches certainty. That's why we had to have faith and believe on what he told us. But Satan, Lucifer, tells us you ain't gotta believe because it might not be true. That's the teaching of the world right there that we gotta get away from. That's why those who lack true faith are being separated from the ones who do have true faith. The Kabbalah teaches us that before there was the will, there was the idea of the will. Thoughts enable us to create the physical world, and those same thoughts have influence over that which occurs in the cosmos. Let's keep going. Our minds act as healers as well as destroyers. Taking this idea one step farther, the Kabbalistic worldview suggests that the mind can extend its influence over the entire cosmos. The Zohar states that humankind has control over the kingdom of the inanimate. Even cosmic influences, which lie at the heart of all misfortune and illness, should be subject to human control. Most High gave you dominion and authority. So what it's telling us, even cosmic influences, which lie at the heart of all misfortune and illness, should be subject to human control. They can be made to behave in accordance with humankind's directives. Kabbalistic teachings demonstrate how people can exercise influence over bodily states that were formerly considered not to be subject to conscious control. From a Kabbalistic point of view of reality, the story of our universe is really one of returning souls. A story of returning souls. All us been here before. Look how many people in the world now. Most I but all us here at the end. And all us have been here before. We back. Some of us are going to continue on. Some of us just, hey, we ain't going to learn our lesson. Indeed, no mystery in the long history of our universe is so startling as the universal and repeated behavior of its inhabitants. This subject is so little understood that we need not be astonished at our continued insistence on destroying each other. If we must be astonished, let it be at our inability to unlock the secrets of human behavior patterns. The influence of the age of Aquarius will find our civilization preoccupied with information and enlightenment. Although the Holy Grail has been a jealously guarded secret, the time has come for it to reach the masses. We now live in a time of enormous upheaval, a time in which the mores, the traditions, and the answers of the past are all in question. The Zoharic perspective is that human nature has its origins in satanic consciousness, worldly consciousness. Satan convinces us how we are to observe physical reality. Thus, we do not understand that chaos lurks right around the corner. We cannot avoid it, yet we proceed with the hope that we might be lucky enough to escape. This then has been the Kabbalah Center's goal, to raise our consciousness to a new level in which human nature no longer exercises control over our thinking process. Why? Because your divine nature should exercise control over your thinking process. Your spiritual nature, your spirit man, should begin to exercise control over your thinking process. Changing our nature from an illusionary confinement, which is the matrix, to one of a true reality has been the most difficult undertaking. Satan, in his brilliant performance as the master magician of this universe, has all but instilled a complete consciousness of uncertainty, which means doubt, an inability to comprehend the universe and all that lies around us. Only the light force. Only the light force. May the force be with you. Only the light force is capable of removing the illusion and limitations of corporal material reality, revealing a cosmic model that is, was, and will always be full of certainty. The awesome power of the light force, to which we are connected by the Zohar, is the ultimate connection. During the age of Aquarius, humankind can again connect with the light force. Through this connection, we can achieve an altered state of consciousness, in which the past and the future are here now, where our youth is again upon us, where we will benefit from the fountain of youth. The only way to find it is spiritual, where death has been terminated. The Holy Zohar, our Holy Grail, leads us to a state of mind in which we are connected with the infinite continuum, where time, space, and motion are unified, where past, present, and future are entwined, where everyone and everything is interconnected, where then is now and now is beautiful. We are the children of the past that are here again. Let's close out. Go back to Revelation so we can just confirm what we just read. Everything is connected. The ones that here were before is the ones that's here now. And the ones back then that didn't accept it are the ones that's going to be judged now. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. And what do we read in the lesson on the ships about the clouds? Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And they also, which pierced him, he ain't been here in 2,000 and some years. So how can them who pierced him see him unless them niggas is back in the flesh? Because he wasn't sent to the Gentiles. He was sent to us. He was sent to the Negroes. And they also, which pierced him, not necessarily speaking of with weapons. We pierce people with our tongues. The tongue is a sword. When you say this and that not true, you don't believe us. That's a sword right there. That sword gonna bear witness against you. And you gonna be stabbed with your own sword that your mouth used to kill you. It killed you back then, it is gonna get you killed again in the end. Cause we are who we was, and we will be who we were supposed to be, and what we accepted back then. If you didn't accept them back then, you're not gonna accept them now. He done hardened your heart for a reason. Like you say. And they also, which pierced them with their mouths, with their hearts, with their actions, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. All of the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Because they didn't believe. And the same ones that didn't believe back then, it's the same ones that don't believe now. The ones of us that's linked up here at the end, we all believe back then. That's why he allowing the hierarchy of light to take us farther right now. We just back to complete the journey. Alright, and to see the glory of the Most High revealed in this end of time. Alright? Peace.